Good afternoon, my brothers. It is at the 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter. The Cowboys are up 25-10. The Cowboys, we won this game. It's over. It's done with. I'm just going to crank a video out right now. Before I go into the game, we need to talk about those god-awful uniforms that the Redskins came out in. What possessed them to wear that shit? That was disgusting. All black with the gold trim. You know, I suspect that they're trying to distance themselves from the Redskins name. So they're going to come out with god-awful uniforms to be more commander-ish. They're the Commanders now, so they're trying to be commander-ish. So they're going to come out in all black. Whatever the fuck that means. I just think it's god-awful. I will not call them the Commanders ever. They're the Redskins. They will always be the Redskins. And I hope somewhere down the line they get a new owner and that owner goes back to the Redskins name. It is a travesty that we have to call them the fucking Commanders. That is disgusting. They will always be the Redskins to me. Real football fans, we know what their name is. We're not calling them that shit. Just have to get that out of the way. The game... You know who's been really surprising in this 3-game stretch? Mike McCarthy. We give him hell, rightfully so. But Mike McCarthy has really been, he's been calling some great games. He really has. I like what he's been doing. I applaud what he's been doing. There's still some calls here and there where I'm just like, but the coach can't be perfect. We just need him to be good. He's been good. He really has. Kellen Moore, again, more balanced play calling. Kellen Moore, he's been, when Dak isn't out there, he calls a great game. He knows what he has out there in Cooper Rush. He's like, listen, I'm going to remain balanced with this guy right here. He needs to do the same when Dak comes back. A more balanced game. Kellen Moore has been calling these great games. The coaching staff, Mike McCarthy, Kellen Moore, they have been doing a damn good job. They really have. Now, when it comes to the players, the pass rush, our pass rush is amazing. D-Law out there. Of course, you got Dorrance Armstrong out there. Michael Parsons out there. They were giving Wentz hell today. They gave him hell today. Forced him to throw 2 picks. He's been sacked so many times, rushed so many times. And speaking of interceptions, Trayvon Diggs was sensational. Trayvon Diggs was phenomenal today. Absolutely phenomenal. He shut down Terry McLaurin, which I didn't think he was going to do completely, but he shut him down all game long. Got himself a pick. Trayvon Diggs is the real deal. It looks like he's been improving on not getting baited. He's been doing his damnedest to make sure he doesn't bite on certain things like he did last season, because he's given up the most receiving yards over the last year. That's been his Achilles heel, but he's been working on that. He's a risk taker. He's a ball hawk. He has a knack for finding the ball. And if he can jump something, he'll try it. So it looks like he's been shoring up, that weakness that he's had for the past year. Thank goodness. He's evolving. Speaking of evolution, C.D. Lamb. C.D. Lamb. Ever since that drop pass last week against the Giants, he has been lights out. He is evolving into a true number 1, brothers. He really is. C.D. Lamb, this is why we drafted him when we didn't have to. He was the best player available, and we nabbed him. We grabbed him. This is why. You can let go of Amari Cooper and his contract, his large contract. You can let him go, and you can push C.D. Lamb to the number 1. He has been phenomenal, brothers. I know we got some C.D. Lamb haters in the comments. I know I got some subscribers that hate on C.D. Lamb. He's been putting in some serious fucking work, brothers. You gotta admit it. You gotta admit it. He's been making big catches. He's taking over drives. The man has it. I'm telling you. And let's not forget about Cooper Rush, brothers. We don't need Cooper Rush to play like a $40 million quarterback. We need Cooper Rush to manage the game and make throws when it matters most. That's what we need, and that's what he's given us. Like I said last week, I feel much more comfortable with him dropping back to pass than Dak Prescott. I don't wonder to myself, is this going to be another wobbly pass? Is this going to be over the guy's head? Is this going to be at the guy's feet? I don't worry about that a lot. Now, he was bailed out by a couple of calls. He had a couple of picks that were overturned. But like I said, if you watch the game and you're not a complete Dak dick sucker, you see the difference. Cooper Rush is more poised. He's more accurate. He makes his decisions quickly. He reads and scans the entire field. You can't take that away from him. And he doesn't try to go for the big numbers. He doesn't always try to go for the big play. He's not flashy out there. He does what needs to be done. He does what needs to be done. That's what I want in my quarterback. That's what I want in my QB1. That's what I want. That's what we've always wanted. And Dak used to be that guy. Dak used to be that guy. He's been trying to play for a payday. He got his play, he's got his payday, and now he's trying to live up to the pay. You need to know who you are. Dak, with this injury, hopefully not only does he need to heal his thumb, but he needs to heal his mind. He needs to come back to reality and understand. Go back to what you were. You were successful. That's how you earned this contract to begin with. Go back to what you were. I guarantee you, if Dak can get out of his own head, if Dak can stop trying to play Mr. Hero, if he can go back to 2016 and 2018 form, I'm telling you, brothers, we would have something special with Dak. We would. We need him to fall in line. I don't think he'll ever do that now. I don't think he'll ever fall in line now. It's too late. He's been paid so much money, and he's trying to live up to the money, and it ain't happening. Dak will never be a top 5 quarterback, and he's trying to live up to that. He will never be that. Cooper Rush understands he's a backup. He's doing what he can out there to not lose us the game. That's the difference. It's mentality. It's mentality. Dak Prescott, I'm not going to sit here and say that Cooper Rush is a better quarterback. I'm not saying that because that's ridiculous. Dak Prescott got paid for a reason. I was against that, but he got paid for a reason. He's the better quarterback. But the mindsets and the expectations are different. That's why Cooper Rush is successful. He's 4-0 in his first 4 starts. I don't think Dak will ever go back to that. But if he can take us places. He can. And if he can't go back to that, we got Cooper Rush. Is Cooper Rush the Cowboys' version of Nick Foles? And speaking of Nick Foles, I can't help but feel bad for Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is not a bad quarterback, brothers. We like to give him shit. We like to give him hell, but he's not a bad quarterback. He's just been thrusted into some terrible situations. And it will take a toll on anyone's psychology. You get hurt when you're having a stellar Pro Bowl season, and then your backup replaces you, takes this team to the Super Bowl, and wins this team's first Super Bowl in the Philadelphia Eagles. You deal with that. Then you deal with fans turning against you. Then you deal with getting shipped out. And you have Jalen Hurts replacing you. You get shipped out to the Indianapolis Colts. You do well for a little bit with the Colts, but when it matters most, you hit an unfortunate circumstance and you lose and you don't go to the playoffs. The organization blames you. You get shipped out to the Washington Redskins of all teams. The Redskins are one of the most dysfunctional franchises in the league. Then they had to change. They were forced to change their fucking name. That's how dysfunctional they were. If they were the Kansas City Chiefs, you notice the Kansas City Chiefs, they have a quote-unquote controversial mascot name too. But they're not forced to change their name. You want to know why? Because they've been successful. When you have Patrick Mahomes out there flinging the football lights out, them going to Super Bowls, winning AFC championship games, they're not forced to change their name because they're not a dysfunctional franchise. You have the Redskins over here, dysfunctional, can't even keep their name. He's been thrusted upon that situation. It's unfortunate. And I feel bad for him. My heart goes out to him. I hope he finds success somewhere. It won't be with the Redskins. It just won't be with them. Brothers, the Cowboys are 3-1. The defense has been our strong point. CeeDee Lamb has been evolving into a true number one. Cooper Rush has been doing what he's been tasked to do. He's been winning football games. He needs to continue this on. Next week, we're not playing against the Giants. We're not playing against the Redskins. We're not playing against the Bengals either, who are recovering from a Super Bowl hangover. We're going against the fucking Rams, who won the Super Bowl. This is going to be a different challenge for us, brothers. Do I see us winning this game? No, I do not. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I don't see us winning, but I'm hopeful. Next week is a true fucking test. We've already had a true test in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they whooped our ass. Okay? So, we're going against another test. Do I expect, like I said, do I expect to win? No. But am I hopeful? Yes. We'll see what happens. Brothers, I'll catch y'all later. Peace.